Yo, what's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome, 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 guys, to Black Knights Talk Podcast. Guys, I have been having fun. We're welcoming you guys back again. Thank you guys for coming on last week. We did have some fun last week. Here at Black Knights Talk Podcast, we love the facts. Here at Black Knights Podcast, we love the facts. Okay, look, just be honest. I've been drinking, so I'm not going to do all the call letters right. Fuck it. Okay? Here at Black Knights Podcast, we love facts and feelings are considered. This has been brought to you by Influencer Studios, and our co-host is back. Say what's up. Uh-oh, hold on. Let's see here. I cut her mic off. I was trying to stop her from talking.
How dare you? Hello. Good night. Whatever it is.
End of the show.
Good night. Have I been drinking too?
Right.
Just a little bit. Yes, it is I. I am back, Tia Alicia. Do it one more time. Let's see how this goes. Should be interesting, as usual. Yes.
All right. So we got Tia here with us tonight. And Tia, I like your outfit. I told Tia that when I came in and I looked at my shirt and her shirt, I was like, we look like two Easter eggs. Just some Easter bows. You know those. Never mind. Okay. I'm not going to talk about that.
We're going to skip over that.
All right, anyway, guys, tonight we're going to be talking about the myth of deadbeat dads. That's going to be the show tonight. And we're going to try to have a little fun with it, man. But we're going to also try to be a little bit, give you a little education on this subject, okay? Because we're not saying that there aren't deadbeat dads, because I'm a product of one.
True.
What we're saying is they're not as normal as they try to make it to be. What's the word for that? Not as normal, not as normal, prevalent.
Not as
Is that the word prevalent? That would be it.
Something like that. Yeah.
Put it in your mouth. Yeah.
I'm done already. Yeah. Okay.
Fucking liar.
So look, guys.
Anyway.
Shout out to Tia. Shout out to Tia. Fucking shout.
Thanks. Thank you very much.
It just wouldn't go in. No, it needs to go up. That's what I think. Yeah. It keeps dropping down.
In the face.
It's like limp, you know.
It needs to be in the face.
I think we need to pull this in. There we go. Pull that on there. And then you can talk into it.
Talk into it. Is that better?
Put your mouth on. All right. Look, okay. I had some fun today. How was your day?
Very good day. Very productive day.
So what'd you get into?
I had a business photo shoot today.
Okay.
So definitely did that. It was a nice little beauty campaign with a couple of models. It's gonna be
nice. Hey, why you ain't bring none with you?
Look now. Yeah, I thought I was enough. Okay.
Oh, you are. Definitely. Trust me.
Thought I was enough here.
Enough.
Hi. But yes, yeah, had that going on today. So very busy, but very fun.
Hey, look. I got up at 12 o'clock and went to the shop. I've been there ever since. I feel like a Mexican that's been working all day. Hey, look, no shout out Mexican. You guys work great. I got great Mexican friends that work good. No, I don't even have to explain. But anyway, you look, guys, I had a long day. I worked hard and had some great results come out of it. So I hope your day was great. I hope you guys had fun. Sean, how was your day?
I'm working.
Well, you see how his day is, he's still working.
Okay.
Guys, so what we want to talk about is the myth of deadbeat dads. There's been an over dramatization of deadbeat dads. And what I want to say is, ladies, this is for you. And for the fellas out there, I want you guys to listen up too, because this may help you too. What we're not discussing when it comes to parenthood is that if the shoe fits on one person, the shoe should fit on the other. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. Wouldn't you say?
I would say so.
You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Hey,
Yes.
you throw shit on me, I should be able to throw shit back on you.
Mhm.
Okay. And what we're doing is we're talking about we're calling men deadbeats, and I'm saying that name, that word is used too sparingly. They just they throw it out there. Just deadbeat dad. Deadbeat dad. He's a deadbeat. He's a deadbeat. They like throw it out there like Oprah, giving the cars away. That's a deadbeat, and he's a deadbeat, and he's a deadbeat. But what I want to ask the question is, are men deadbeats because they don't pay the child support? Or are they deadbeats because they don't stay at home or spend time with you at your house with the children?
Ooh.
So, I mean, I'm just asking. What do you think, Tia? What makes a deadbeat a deadbeat?
Mm-mm.
Huh.
I guess because I can't.
In your own experience.
In my own experience, I had the deadbeat.
I'm so sorry, Tia.
But it turned out to be an absolute blessing in the long run anyway, because my stepdad came into the picture and stepped up.
Oh, wow.
So I had a father figure, but it just wasn't my father. Now I have.
Now, me and you have. Now, I can kind of agree with you because my stepdad.
Yes.
He's been around. He's been married to my mom for 40 plus years.
Right.
And he's a white guy.
Mhm.
And I used to beat people's ass to talk about my dad.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But anyway, I didn't have my dad there with me,
Mhm.
but he was such a great instrument in raising me as a young man that it didn't affect me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I can imagine the countless amounts of boys and girls who
Exactly.
run through that. Thank God for stepdads.
Right.
Okay.
Exactly.
I'm against stepdads. but
I'm
thank
against
God
the
for
word stepdads. It's like really hard for me. I guess because my dad wasn't my stepdad. I just
Yeah.
have to say that because that's technically true.
Yeah, my stepdad was my dad.
But he's my dad.
Yeah.
He was all I ever knew, and he's the best thing ever. So yeah. I was very grateful.
So would you say that you were spared the loneliness of not having your father, or?
Yes.
Okay. So you basically kind of did like me, out of sight, out of mind.
Out of sight, out
Didn't
of
bother
mind.
me. And
Didn't
when I
bother
got
me one
older, I
bit.
made my own decision.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So what made your father a deadbeat?
It was more so when I got older and I reached out to him and he didn't really respond. That was the whole, okay, you really just don't want to be a dad. You don't want to be, or you don't want to be my dad. Okay. I had heard stories from my mother. Whether they're true or not, I may never know because I can't really vouch for anything. I didn't know the man personally. I didn't really have a whole lot of communication with him.
Yeah.
But, I did reach out to him and it went silent. So I was just like, so that's what it is.
I mean, for me, I had the same issue with my dad when I first, 22 years old, first reached out to him. I mean, I know my dad, but my mother, she had a hand playing in me seeing my dad. My dad had us at one point where we were able to see him, and I got hurt, and so my mom instantly came up there and took us away from him.
Right.
And I was like, yo, I was on the farm chilling with my pops. You know
right.
what I'm saying? But even when I did live with my pops was always gone. He was always at work.
Right.
So I really didn't get the chance to enjoy him the same way that my other siblings did. And like I said, I blame both of them because they both had a part in rearing me.
Right.
And I don't think we talk about that enough is the part of about broken mothers.
Yes.
Who purposely take the children away from their father and create a image that is not true of their father.
Right.
Like me and my dad, I'm 43 now, but today I'm calling my dad up, talk to him, best friends, good guy. My dad always told me, he said, there's going to be the truth, her side of the story and my side of the story.
Right.
You have to use wisdom to hear both parents out.
Exactly.
And then figure out what's the truth.
Right.
And I pretty much did that.
Right.
So I wouldn't say my dad was a deadbeat. I'd say that my dad made bad decisions.
Yes.
Yeah, he made bad decisions.
Mhm.
9 kids later, yeah, he made bad decisions.
Right, right.
And look, I gotta say this. I'm just like my dad. I made bad decisions.
Made bad
You know what I'm
decisions.
saying? So I don't think I would say this. Even when I talk about ladies and the issues about women having 3, 4, 5 kids, 4
Right.
different baby daddies, men have the same. However,
Mhm.
when men have that many children, it's whether that man can take care of said children.
Right.
Because that's where the deadbeat comes in.
Right.
Is you not doing anything for your child. You're leaving your child hanging and you're just not providing for that child.
Right.
Now there's a difference too about men who just don't have who are in certain demographics and can't afford to take care of their children like they want to. But they want to be fathers. They don't mind coming babysitting. They don't mind taking care of their kid or saying, hey, sweetheart, well, since even though we didn't make it, when you got to go to work, I'll babysit them or I'll babysit the children. There's fathers out there like that.
Right.
So I don't think there's a ton of deadbeats. No. I think what it is we're so used in social media to be able to just instantly say that word. And what it is, hold on. My ears fell off. What it is in social media, you get a lot of trauma bonding going on.
Yes.
And what happens is it's not that it's a bunch of deadbeat dads. You got a lot of trauma bonding going on with ladies.
Right.
And they're sitting there, well, that must be my baby daddy because he won't do what I say do.
Right.
And it ain't that he a deadbeat dad. He just don't give a shit about what you telling him.
Well, we came from the broken homes. I you don't see the deadbeat fathers today that you saw in our time or before.
Yeah.
So most of the women are coming from broken homes. They are coming from the single mother home where I'll even throw a stupid number out there, is where I can almost say 90% of those mothers were so upset with the father that their child has a perplexed view. Mm-hmm. Because they don't, mom said this and this dad wasn't around to defend himself. So I have to believe this, this is all I had to go on type deal. And now they're taking that and going on with their lives.
Yeah.
And just kind of continuing the cycle, and not necessarily because of, the guys actually being truthful deadbeat. The relationship went sour. This is what I saw my mom go through. This is what I'm repeating on.
Right.
So it really does kind of stink because we're throwing out, this is a deadbeat dad. It's not 90%.
This is a dysfunctional mother.
Yes.
And I think that we should call that out. Is if we're going to say, hey, we're going to point out deadbeat dads, let's talk about dysfunctional mothers.
We have to think about the other coin of that.
Yeah. Because we can't keep on saying that there's just a sea of deadbeat dads. There's also a sea full of dysfunctional mothers. We don't take the time to talk about it. And because we don't talk about it, kids are coming up dead by their mothers. I've watched trials where the mother said, well, the mother got to, in court, talk about her baby daddies. And these men had already went to her house to get their kids before she killed those kids. Nice. But she got to call them out and to berate them because she killed the kids. She had the kids she killed them and stuffed them in the freezer in her mama's house.
What?
Yes. True story. Killed the kids, stuffed them in the freezer, and then got to berate, told the courts, I don't want the baby daddies to have any custody of them. And I was like, how the fuck do you get to call?
How did that fly?
And the state was trying to stop those men from keeping their kids.
Wow.
And I was like, hold the fuck up. How do you get to be trial jury even when you killed said children?
Right.
You could have given those children to the father if that was the case.
Could have.
But you didn't. What you did is you ignored it. Because the guy said they went there with DHR. They talked, they sent agents there, and nothing was done.
Right.
So I'm saying, what do we got to do? We got to wait until, because I hear a lot of ladies always say, you guys don't do enough to get your kids. And I'm like, why the fuck should he have to fight for his kids in the first place?
Right. That's a bothersome quote that I have heard many times.
Yeah.
You know, the guys don't do enough. Why do they have to jump through hoops?
Right. Well, why should I fight to see my kid? If I want to see my kid, I should be able to walk over to your house or drive to your house and say, hey, I want to take him for a little while.
Right.
I want to do this for a little while. That gives you time to do what you need to do.
Right.
But a lot of y'all don't think about that. What you do is you turn around and you try to dictate his whole entire life.
Mm.
Oh, he smoked weed. Nigga, you strip at a strip club. I'm not saying all y'all, but I'm just saying in certain situations, you know what I'm saying? Why is that some of the ladies always try to pull the moral ground on a man when he wants to see his kid?
Justification, looking for an excuse, grasping at straws.
Okay. Hey, thank you. You know what I'm saying?
You know.
So what would you say? Am I lying? Am I delusional?
No, not at all. I've seen it on both sides of the table.
Yeah.
Experienced the deadbeat dad. My own child, her father wasn't really in the picture by his choice most of her life, but he did come around in the end by his choice, which was perfectly fine too.
Yeah.
So my daughter does have a good image of him in whole, but he really wasn't around very much. So I've seen the folks that you possibly really could throw out as deadbeat.
Yeah.
And then I've seen the other side of it where, beyond the shadow of a doubt, it is the woman and her emotions.
I've seen dudes
stirring the pot.
I've seen dudes in the hood that their kid is right the fuck across the street and walk right past their fucking kid while their kid's playing outside.
Right.
And I'm like, what the fuck?
Right.
Are you doing, dude? Like, that's your kid over there?
Right.
And so I told, dude, you can't hang with me.
Right.
Fuck out of here. Your kid's right there.
Right there.
And you're gonna See, let me explain something to the ladies. When there are good black men out here that do love their children, that do take care of the kids, but what we won't do is we won't hang with guys that don't take care of their kids. We find out that you're walking past your kid and your kid is there, and we know you're not. We're gonna talk some shit to him. Okay, he doesn't get off scot-free.
Need to.
And so look, ladies, all I'm saying is this. Talk to your friends. Don't let your girlfriends come up to you with that bullshit of telling you one-sided stories of how her and her baby daddy is. You have. Oh, hold on. Well, first let's see. We got comments. Tia Alicia, go ahead and hit them off.
You're so silly. First, let's stop using the term babysit. We are fathers. I never babysat my kids. Those are my kids. True. Very true.
You're right, Mr. Green.
You said
you
that.
You are very right. You're very
Definitely
right.
Definitely not
Green
babysitting.
Is very right.
And that is
yes. No. I mean, I took care of my kids.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? When he was little, yo, you coming with me.
Right.
It's pop. I remember, and ladies, let me explain something to you. The same protection that you feel for your child, the same lioness protection that you feel, a man feels the exact fucking same way. Because when I used to have my son with me and it was just me and him, I would kill anything moving that fucked with my child, period. That my mom called me Mr. Mom. I'm protective of my kids. I can still remember my son, at 3-4 years old, I'd have a mirror and he's like, well, my mirror, daddy. And I'd have to go buy him a mirror because he wants my mirror. And I'm like, no, I got to use this mirror.
Right.
And he's like, no, I need my mirror. And I'm like, okay, cool. So I buy him a mirror. So these are little things. I'm teaching my kid Spanish when he's 3 years old. And he starts to say it at 4. And I'm like, how the fuck does this kid remember this shit?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So there's little things that men recognize with their children that they instilled in their children even when they were little. You know what I'm saying? We can't take away from the fact that men do love their children. And a lot of women use that same love to hurt them. Because you can't get at me physically. You can't beat my ass physically. So what do? You use my child.
The child.
That's the only way that you know that you can hurt me.
Right.
And I had a video that I posted back about last month, and it was about what's the football player? What's the football player? Not Deion Sanders. Was it Deion Sanders? No, it wasn't Deion Sanders. I can't remember his name. But anyway, I was watching a guy and he said, my worst time in my life was when I was about to commit suicide in Cincinnati, Ohio. And he said it was all because his wife would not let him see his children. This black guy. And I'm thinking, like, this guy has millions of dollars
Mm-hmm.
and he still can't get his fucking kids.
Mm-hmm.
That's the type of power that a woman has over children.
Right.
And this is why I say leaving this unchecked
Mm-hmm.
has caused problems for years.
Right.
Because we've turned, let's be real. The government's turned marriage, anything you do, into a business.
It's a business.
Okay. It's a transaction. And even having children these days is a transaction.
It is.
And it's not normal to have so much government in your business.
Mm-hmm.
And I would tell Black people, stop putting the government in your business.
Right.
Look, work shit out. No man has that much money when he first finds out he has a child, especially if he's 20 fucking years old. Come on, get a grip.
Right.
Y'all got to work shit out. Quit putting your grandmama in it.
Right.
Put your mama in it. Your mama and your grandmama are trying to tell you to do this because it's the easy route. They don't want you to take the hard route because you got a baby. But if you get that young man a chance, some of these young men will actually fucking do whatever they can to make sure you're happy. It won't be that you're rich, but he's going to do everything he can to take care of you. There's some out there. I'm not saying all, but I'm just saying there's some out there.
There are.
And when you go straight to the law just because it's that easy for you to get a check, you didn't love that guy at all. You don't love your kid. You're hurting yourself. You're hurting your children. You're hurting that young man. And all you're doing is starting the pattern over and over again. This is why the projects won't end, because we won't end this pattern of taking things from the government.
Right.
We're not saying, hey, yo, let's get together and work as a team in the neighborhood and say, yo, these kids got like this.
Our village just kind of fell apart in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
It really has. And these handouts from the government, hey, they're getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
And it's just easier just to sit on your butt and collect checks and food stamps and just have rent free, even though it might be a crummy neighborhood. Who cares? It's rent free. And it's just so simple. And then you get stuck in this cycle. And then you get stuck in the thinking and the pattern of everything. And it just keeps going on and on and on. And it's sad.
Yeah.
It's really sad.
Yeah. I mean, I get so tired of the reason why I have these conversations is not to argue with people or hate on women. But the reason I'm having these conversations is because just like women claim that, yo, we running the world now, right? Mm-hmm. That's the claim, that their independence and all the women who, right? Y'all got your theme song.
You know right.
You got to realize, for all that you say you've done, there's some bad shit that ain't been talked about.
That's true.
That you've also done. We can always praise, because I heard this chick say, we shouldn't be talked to. They're trying to cancel Kevin Samuels.
Oh, I'm so sick of this topic already. They really are. And they're just, it's annoying the piss out of me.
It makes me angry because I'm like, yo, so y'all can sit around and I'm going to say this, and I know this is not going to monetize my programming, but you YouTube bitches that are out there, I'm calling you bitches, because here it is. This man built his whole empire off of training men to do right. I watched this guy. He trained men to wear their shirts right. He told men to be gentlemen. He taught men how to attract women and how to keep a good woman and how to be men. And here it is, you lame fucking YouTuber bitches that ain't got nothing to do. This is the ugly group. Because I'm telling you something, the ugly groups are the ones that always try to change laws to fit their ugly ass. Because they mad, because they ugly, and they can't get nobody. So here it is. They see a good black man come along. Now we going to sue him into oblivion. If you didn't like him, stop fucking watching him. It's hurting our self-esteem. Bitch, it's called self-esteem for a reason. It's yourself, not his. If you don't like him, stop watching him. Why are you consuming his product? It's just like, if you don't want to smoke crack, don't smoke it.
That's true.
Fuck, I can't sue you as a drug dealer because you got crack.
It's almost like saying on Facebook, if you don't like the post or the comment, just scroll. People can't scroll. They have to say something about it, because
I have to see.
I have to look at this. I have to disagree, and I have to tell everybody I disagree.
Yeah.
And this is why. And you need to listen, because my opinion matters more than anything. it really is just like
These chicks said that Kevin Samuels was causing abuse in the household.
Okay, if it's abusive and he is on a screen that I can turn off.
I'm like, yo, if a person's abusive, he was abusive long before fucking Kevin Samuels came along. Shit. I'm like, how do you blame abusive households on Kevin Samuels? His rhetoric is creating minions. No, his rhetoric is allowing men to stand up and say, yo, I'm not going to take your shit anymore.
Yeah.
I'm not going to live by this. Men are actually saying, yo, I'm going to keep my wallet in my pocket. I'm going to start bettering myself as a man. And I'm going to make you earn me. What it is, you got a lot of uglies out there that don't want nobody to make them earn them. So now that you ain't getting no press, ain't nobody coming to see you, ain't nobody coming to put no money in your wallet, you want to cancel Kevin Samuels. Cancel yourself. Okay? Go take yourself and cancel yourself. Go sit down in the corner. I ain't talking about no suicide, so you don't come after me, the S word. I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about cancel yourself. Go sit down, talk to Jesus about it. Okay?
He said talk to
I'm
Jesus.
just saying. Go talk to a fucking therapist. That's what you need to do. Because if I knew something that somebody said was hurting my fucking feelings, I'd stop watching.
Well, it's just crazy. Like, in a sense, it's like we expect people to just always talk to us in the nature that we perceive it, I guess. But you have to understand that sometimes even any conversation, there's blunt and honest and truth. There's harsh. It's ugly. It is what it is.
Yeah. And
you just have to accept that because that's just how it is. Not everybody is going to pat you and be like, "It's going to be okay. We can fix this."
Call, right? You've been to a model call, right?
Quite a few.
Okay. Do they tell you what they don't like about your body?
No.
No?
No.
They don't circle anything? Okay.
No.
I watch some calls where they be like, yo, this is where you need to take care of this.
I mean, they will tell you certain things that you need to kind of fix up and so forth. But in a sense,
like if you had a stomach, you had a little bit more weight than they wanted. They tell you, hey, you need to fix this and this and this to come back. And then we might take you on. But
yes, they would.
You
yes,
see what I'm saying?
Yes, they would critique you like that. Yes.
And right. And so what I'm saying is that.
And it can be so freaking harsh.
Yeah.
It really can.
Because they're telling you you're not perfect.
Right.
And everybody wants to be perfect.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I think I'm perfect. I think I'm perfect to a degree, but I may not be perfect to everybody.
Mm-mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-mm.
So we have to be able to take on those criticisms. Kevin Samuels is not hurting anybody.
Right.
What he's doing, he's telling some unwanted truths.
Right.
That are out there. And it's true. These things exist in women and men. He did men for 3 years.
He did.
You see what I'm saying? This last year, 12 months. He ain't even been 12 months with women, and they are already trying to 10,000 something women trying to cancel him. And I'm like, for what? It's freedom of speech.
It's freedom of speech. You don't have to listen to it and so forth. But I would advise that if you could just sit through it, you can actually. I mean, not everything is going to fit every person.
No.
But you can actually get some good information, learn some things about yourself and others.
Look, don't be stupid and take everything from it.
Open-minded enough to where it can, affect your life and for the better.
Yeah.
Type deal. You just have to be open-minded for that, though. Most people are just hearing the bullshit and shutting down.
I think people are hearing their own bullshit.
Yes, that's true too. Because
and
they do hear their own interpretation of it. It was like one time I remember you had a post and the word customize was an issue.
Yeah.
Because everybody wanted to take it as you wanted to take a person and mold it and change them and create your perfect wife.
Yeah.
And it was just like control. When truthfully, it's like one of those things. And I'm sitting there talking to people back and forth the whole time, like, that if you learn anything from your mate, you're customizing yourself.
Yeah.
You're changing. You're
growing. To fit that person.
You're fitting the mold. So if I do something just a little bit different, because that works for my partner or my boyfriend, my husband, or anything like that, I'm customizing.
Yeah.
But everybody wants to hear, everybody on that post, here's the word customize and those control. So that's what they're doing. To
trigger words.
All the time. Hear that one word, forget everything that was said before and after. That word pissed me off. The way he said that shit. Oh,
and then they stop focusing on the meat of the subject,
right?
And they just focus on one word.
That
word had nothing to do with the whole conversation.
Yep.
So yeah. With that being said, people, you got to realize you're gonna be checked. Ladies, I'm sorry, you can't have it both ways. You can't sit and be able to call men dusty and call men niggas deadbeats and all these other names. And then when somebody starts doing it back, then it's, oh my God, I can't believe he talked to me like that. Yeah. Are you serious? Like, yo, you're not gonna be a bully and then not get bullied back.
Right. And a victim. No, we can't be a victim. Quit the victimhood.
Yeah. I'm just like this. If you can bully me, I'm gonna have a t-shirt saying we bullying bitches around here. I'm sorry, Tia.
I was trying to get that down first.
My bad, Tia. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm just saying.
We're bullying people.
Yeah, because you got to realize there are platforms that on YouTube that I've seen of women just talking shit to men, talking about men ain't shit, and I'm like, yo, it's the niggas you fucking with.
That's
it
right.
ain't me.
Right.
So why would you sit and put me in that and generalize? And this is what I'm saying. A lot of you ladies get on there and y'all signing this thing against Kevin Samuels, but Kevin Samuels does not generalize all women.
Mm-mm.
He says a select few,
Mm-hmm.
and a select few come on his fucking show and he tells them exactly what he thinks, and they ask the question. They want to be critiqued. So you can't get mad at somebody participating in being critiqued by an image consultant.
It's not one of those things like, hey, I want you to critique me, but once you start feeling like you're getting a little harsh here, think you might hurt my feelings, back on up. Give me the positive stuff again. Like,
yeah, because they come and looking for drugs. I want some positive drugs. You got the positive
You can't say I'm ugly. You can't say I'm a 4 when I feel like I'm a 10. Like, you can't do that. Like, I don't know. It's.
Sometimes I wish Kevin Samuels had a panel of men, just black, white, Asian, and just, hey guys, what do you think? Because if you really wanted to, if women really wanted to know, if you think that's bad,
right?
Try a panel on men,
right,
and add them on there. Because obviously, what Kevin Samuels is telling you about yourself, I guess he's lying. And all the men, including myself, we're looking at the videos of these women like, yo, the fuck? You are not a 9. You are not an 8 or a 7. You are barely a 3. Did you see your hair today? Did you not know that you were coming to talk to Kevin Samuels, the guy that dresses nice every fucking show? This is why we dress like we do here. Because we want to have dignity and look like people that have common fucking sense.
Just a little bit.
I get mad. You can't talk about my butt, bonnet, Kevin. We coming for you, Kevin. That was on the video too.
The women stand by that bonnet. I don't. I'm not even getting on that subject. I don't do it, but women will stand by their bonnet.
We're not gonna do bonnet game.
We will not bonnet bash here tonight.
Hey, there will be some picketers outside. You can't stop our bonnet.
No, we're not doing the bonnet thing tonight.
I can see him in front of Walmart. We wearing our bonnets.
Hey, just go down the road. They already do.
Just picking it in line. What you looking at? You looking at my bonnet? So look, when I was going back to what we were talking about, the myth of deadbeat dads, I don't think there's a plethora of deadbeat dads out there. I think it's a plethora of mothers who don't know how to deal with hurt, that have not allowed men to lead, not allowed those certain men, even if that's the baby's father. You need to take people out of your business and let him be a man. Mm-hmm. Money does not make you a father. Mm-mm. It makes you a provider. Mm-hmm. Some men can't provide, but that doesn't mean that he's not a father. Mm-hmm. There have been poor men in history that have been great fathers, but not great providers. You need to learn the difference between that, because too many women get off with not being great providers, not great mothers, but we don't have any names to call them. Okay? Because 92% of women get the children, and the children become a benefit rather than just a burden. Because there's benefits to having kids. Come on now. Fuck that. Hey, look, I wanted to adopt me some Jerry's kids when the pandemic came and they
Man,
told me
them
how much a
stimulus
check they was getting.
checks.
I was like,
Wow.
bitch, come here, bitch. Where your kids at? I
Can
want
I
to get
borrow a kid
right.
next year?
I need two.
My kid is grown. I need a kid now.
Somebody give me a kid right now. I'm about to make some money. Give me 7.
I need to borrow one child.
Yeah. So I understand that's the game. You know, you have a kid, they're gonna keep saying kids so they can make money off of it.
Right.
And this is what I tell people. I don't believe every mother's a mother. Mm-hmm. Just because your pussy opened up and you had a fucking kid does not make you a mother. What makes you a mother is your humbleness, your patience, your time that you spend with that child, and the way you teach your child to get along with the father. Mm-hmm. Because as a mother, you should never, ever show enmity between you and the father, no matter who he is. Because that's the other side of that child. And that's causing great mental anguish. Right. That causes them to question themselves.
Right.
And I don't give a damn. That's one thing my mom did a couple of times, but my mom was not prevalent in telling me my dad wasn't shit. She wasn't. She was just like, yo, when you get a chance to go see him, go see him.
And see, mine was the complete opposite. So she was just prevalent. Like, I knew that my dad was POS. I knew it. I just knew it because the mama said it all the time.
That. Say it again, POS.
All the time. He was a POS all the time. So I did the complete opposite, and I didn't say anything. And I was just like, you'll just figure this out when you need to figure it out. Because my opinion about my relationship with your father has nothing to do with him being a father to you.
I'm going to tell you something. The hardest thing I've ever had to do is be a dad to girls. Because finding out that you had girls and you didn't know for years and you thought you only had one kid and then they're expecting you to be this certain dad, but that's for the fairy tales. That's not how dad is. I like young ladies to understand your daddy is not going to be as nurturing as your mother is. Right. Because we are fathers, we have to get out there and work. We're not going to always have time to call, always have time to spend on the phone for 2 and 3 hours or an hour or two. It sucks. And it sucks because what I'm trying to do is build a legacy. And you have to sacrifice some things. Right. As a father, you have to sacrifice, especially if you're a Black man in Black America. When you're trying to work to get things, to put your last name on stuff. Because I don't give a damn about anything but my last name on deeds, property, and anything. Right. So that's what my goal is. Sometimes you lose it with your kids. Your kids don't understand, but I'm like, yo, it's not that your daddy does this on purpose. This is just what I got to do to make sure that we're straight, that, you know, if something happened to me, yo, you got it. Right. You know what I'm saying? They can call me a deadbeat after I'm dead. You just count them Benjamins. You know what I'm saying? Right. They can call me a bad father after I'm dead. Just count the properties that I have. Right. You know what I'm saying? So we all get a bad rep. I think what it is that we as a community need to start understanding in America, not Black or white or Indian, whatever color. It doesn't matter about race. What it is we need to start talking as parents and creating programs for children that end up having kids early. And being able to nurture those kids and say, yo, okay, look, we're not going to take this boy to court for child support because we understand that a 20-year-old, 18-year-old, 19-year-old doesn't have that type of resources. Right. He's barely getting out the house. We're not going to give this young lady a house to do whatever the fuck she wants to because she's immature. We're going to make them both work together. If it's just like this. If I put a brick of the same weight on both of y'all's back, then guess what? You got to work together to get that bitch off, right? Right. So I think we should create programs to make both couples work together to take care of said child and not sway it so far to the left that it creates this ideal of a deadbeat dad. Right. Or this ideal of a missing father in the family. Right. We need more co-parenting. Yeah, I agree. You know, therapy, teaching, any of that, regardless of whether it's them in the same house or separate house. You can have like successful family life
without necessarily having mother and father in the household. But you have to have that co-parenting down pat.
Yeah.
You have to have that.
And you know what I wonder? All these, and I'm talking to you big ass churches out there. For all you big ass churches that got your mega helicopters, your big ass audiences, everything. I remember back in the day, they held those things together. They created programs like that. And of all these churches, all that money and tithe it off and you get out from these people, what programs are you creating in your community to help those children that are going through this? Because as far as I see it, I'm sorry, y'all just taking up people's fucking money and selling them hope. That's how I feel. I've been in the church when I was a kid. I didn't like the way they sold hope. They sold Jesus to everybody. Jesus gonna fix everything. Jesus can't fix everything for you. He gave you the power to fix things yourself. Sometimes y'all gonna have to stop calling on God and start calling on your damn self and get your ass up first and go looking for what you need.
Right.
You know. But let's see. There we got any more comments? No, it's been a Friday night.
It is.
It's been a Friday night.
You know.
I'm not mad. Hey,
I'm not mad at all.
We'll do the playback on YouTube. Yeah. But T, what do you do? Do you think, and as I know you hear all the horror stories out there, but do you think that this deadbeat dad is so prevalent?
No.
Because I'm asking, like, where do you see that? Most of that guys, black men that I see with their children,
genuinely
happy.
Really happy, want to be there 100%.
You go down to Huntsville Park right now, anytime during the day, and you can see a black dad pushing his kid, walking with his daughter.
Right.
And that's any city.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
So I get tired of these ladies who have tried to change up the narrative that there's so many like bad dads that are just not doing it, that are just acting crazy and are just running off. That's bullshit. Okay, there's not that many dads doing that. What it is you have a system, a court system that has made it so easy for single mothers to say, "Oh, he ain't paying his child support. He's a deadbeat." It doesn't make your baby's daddy a deadbeat. That just means he's not paid with money. A lot of young ladies, if turned around, there are a lot of young ladies that I've seen that have been put on child support. I've seen those young ladies end up, they can't pay the child support. I've seen women who can't afford to pay the child support. And I've seen the struggle that they went through when the tables were reversed. And so I asked ladies, if this was as prevalent and women didn't get the child 92% of the time, I guarantee you would vote to change the laws, because it doesn't benefit either parent. It doesn't allow you to grow together. And what we're not talking about is relationship as far as marriage. We're teaching everybody it's okay to be a boyfriend, girlfriend, and let it be just that. But we're not teaching from the beginning on how to become a husband or how to become a wife. Boys are not learning how to be husbands. They're just learning how to go out and work and hustle. And that's the name of it. They tell the boys, go hustle. And I'd like to say, hey, we need to change that tone. Boys, don't go out there and go hustle. Go create. Go create for your children. Go create for your wife. If you've got a mother out there, son, and your mother doesn't have it, go create so that y'all both could have. But let's stop this. We have to start talking about therapy for the homes, therapy for these kids, therapy for the mothers, therapy for the fathers. Because until we start just being honest and keeping it that way, we're never ever gonna get the way we need to. Just period. Yo, with that being said, start having these conversations in small groups at home, okay? Because you can't get past this without starting these conversations. I don't see how you can. I'm not gonna let anybody keep calling black men deadbeats. That's bullshit. When studies show, hey, Sean, can we pull up the site where we read the article there? This has been bullshit the whole time, and this was started out. I'm gonna let you guys see something here, and it's called "The Truth About Black Fatherhood," and I'm just gonna go over and read a little bit of it. And it says stereotypes about black fathers. The stereotype of black fathers as absent and black children as fatherless, first introduced over 50 years ago, has, like many racial stereotypes, refused to die. In 1965, white sociologist and Assistant Secretary of Labor Daniel Patrick Moynihan, Moynihan published a report called The Negro Family, the Case for National Action. The report claimed that increasing rates of out of wedlock births and single mothers' homes among African Americans signaled the coming destruction of Black families. And these trends were to blame for many of the issues facing the Black community in America. The report has been roundly criticized by many race scholars. Today, around 70% of Black children are born to parents who aren't married. Rate out of wedlock births have, of course, increased among all races since 1965. The idea that racial disparities in education, employment, income, incarceration, and more can be blamed not on structural racism, but on this absence of Black fathers has been parroted by pundits and politicians alike. Even Black public figures have shared these statistics. In 2008, President Barack Obama said during his Father's Day speech that more than half of all Black children live in single parent households. Children who grew up without a father are 5 times more likely to live in poverty and commit crime, 9 times more likely to drop out of schools, and 20 more times to end up in prison. They are more likely to have behavioral problems or run away from home or become teenage parents themselves. And the foundation of our community are weaker because of it. The stereotype ignores evidence that Black fathers are in fact more involved in their children's care and their lives than fathers of other races. All right, the truth. Let's see, we scroll up here, get a little bit more here. The truth. Black fathers are more involved. We cannot equate the number of unmarried dads to the number of fatherless children. First of all, marriage rates don't necessarily reflect the number of Black fathers living with children, as writer Josh Leves points out. The majority of Black dads, 2.5 million of around 4.2 million, do live with their kids, even if they are not married to their partner. And second of all, according to a 2013 report by the CDC, Black dads, whether they live with their children or not, are more actively involved in their children's lives and than their counterparts of other races. For example, the CDC reports that Black fathers who live with their children are more likely than fathers of other races to provide physical care, bathe, diaper, feed for their young children, read to their children, and help their children with their homework, all on a daily basis, than fathers of other races who also cohabitate with their children. The report also reveals that among dads who don't live with their children, Black dads are more likely to be involved in care, including reading to their children, helping them with homework, talking to them about their days, and talking to them about their activities than Hispanics or white dads who live apart from their kids. Non-residential Black fathers are also the least likely to report that they're not at all involved in the care of their children, including bathing, dressing, changing diapers, and playing with their children. All right, we're gonna go ahead and scroll that up a little bit, and we're gonna let Miss Tia kill out that part of the mother's report, echoes of the fathers. So it up there, sir.
Oh, okay. So, lest we believe that these statistics are skewed by the father's own self-reporting, other studies based on maternal reports echoed these findings. In a 2008 survey of low-income mothers, researchers found that non-resident white fathers were less involved with their children than African American and Latino fathers. And in a 2018 study of non-marital births, mothers reported that Black fathers shared responsibilities more frequently and displayed more effective co-parenting than Hispanic and white fathers. And it seems that the paternal paternal relationship, the strong focus of what the heck? Whose report? Somebody's report.
Okay.
Somebody's 1965 report actually has less. Yeah, that word, whoever that guy is, actually has less of an impact on Black fathers' involvement with their kids than it does with the involvement of other fathers. In a 2009 paper about the child rearing roles of the unmarried men, authors note that father involvement also varies by race and ethnicity, with rates for African Americans being higher than the average American father. Father involvements drop sharply after parents' relationships end, especially when they enter
subsequent relationships
and have children with new partners. These declines are less dramatic for the African American fathers.
All right. So we're not going to read the whole thing, but
that last sentence though.
It was a doozy, huh?
It's a doozy.
All right. So with that being said, that's all I'm saying right there. Those reports are true.
Yes.
And what we try to do in the community, if we're being drowned out, and I like to challenge sisters. Mm-hmm. You cannot allow this foolery to go on. Just because something happened to you, that is not everybody. And a lot of times we don't want to face the fact that a lot of our choices created what we got. Mm-hmm. You picked those guys. You picked the ain't shit dude that's in your life. So you can't run around and go on Facebook and just call all men ain't shit. Just say, I want you the next time that you see a post that says something, just say, mine's ain't an ain't shit guy. And that's the one I picked though.
I'm not going to say that, but yeah.
I'm just saying. Because every time I see some shit like that, I'm like, you picked him. I don't give a fuck. You're terrible at picking fucking men.
Right.
Okay. That's what comes to mind. Let's just say that. Not that baby dad is a deadbeat. You're terrible at picking men.
Terrible.
Not that my baby mamas were fucked up. I'm just terrible at picking baby mamas. Or I'm just terrible at using condoms when I should have used condoms when I was a kid.
You probably should have done that. Yeah.
I mean, I learned later.
Yeah.
3 kids later.
Three kids later. I'm sure you did.
It's like, hey, abracadabra. Fuck.
Wow.
Damn.
See, it only took me one.
I didn't even want to show her in public.
It took me one time.
I'm just like, damn.
Them shits are expensive.
God, why this one? Why did you let this one get pregnant? All the other pretty women out there, and you let this one get pregnant. I don't even want to see her in public. Nope.
See, that was all your mess up right there.
Yeah.
You knew better.
That's how I felt. Like
you knew
every
better.
time my baby mom came around, I was like, fuck.
You knew better. You did it.
Yeah. I'm like, shit, I can't never let her be seen in public. Gotta hide this motherfucker. She's like a school big picture that you don't never want to know about.
You can't be doing that.
I'm sorry. I'm just messing around. Nah. And I gotta say, yo, I chose to lay with this person. So that's my fault. So ladies, I'm saying I can accept as a man. Men, we're typically able to accept our choices and deal with them. Ladies, y'all blame Jesus if Jesus was around. Jesus did. He gave me that man.
Right.
Like, no, you chose that man because we all have a power choice.
Right.
You had a power choice.
Exactly.
You wouldn't blame the guy that you slept with. You knew that, hey, some traits about him were asshole-ish.
He had potential.
See, that shit, dude. That's what fuck y'all up. That shit right there. That shit right there.
He had so much potential.
Yes. Fuck his potential. What the fuck is he showing you? This is what I like to tell ladies. Fuck his potential. Do not. That's what you did the first time. You fucked his potential. Okay? And you got all that you could get out of his potential except potential.
Except potential.
Right.
Pretty much.
You got a potentially great kid.
Exactly.
But that's about it. That's what potential got you.
That's what
probability. That's what you need to be looking at.
Right.
What's the probability that this motherfucker ain't gonna be a good daddy? He's shown you traits.
Them actions.
You're right.
Yes.
Through his actions, he showed you this motherfucker might not be a provider at all. This motherfucker might take the fuck off at any moment's notice. And I'm gonna just tell you, ladies, too, stop looking at them niggas' cars. Stop there. That is a deal that nigga is struggling to pay for. Stop picking niggas and sleeping with niggas because they car look good. I'm telling you, you're going to be a bitter baby mama after you find out that motherfucker is just rented or it's going back to the dealership because he is 6 months behind on payments.
Ooh-wee.
Just saying.
Yes, indeed.
I know too many baby mamas that have been out there and dated niggas because they had nice cars and shit looked good, and found out that this nigga 3, 4, 5 months behind on his payments, and that shit went back, and now he was riding her car. Let me borrow your keys.
Like, nigga, what?
So, but see, that dating that fucking potential.
Potential.
He potentially could have been great with that nice fucking Camaro.
And then it'd be like, that sex was so good. And then it's excuses. It's excuses.
You ain't in love. You
but
just
then
addicted.
When it's all over with, that nigga wasn't shit.
Yeah. Okay, ladies, let me understand. See something. You're not in love. You're just addicted to what the dick did. Okay? It's not love. Quit making it that way. You're just addicted to what the dick did.
It could be that way.
Okay? Period.
It could be that way.
Don't have a kid for that guy. Go take a plan B. Stop fucking playing.
You gotta be smart.
Yeah.
Plan A. Have your own protection.
Right. Man, I said that one day. I don't know if you saw that. I said that one day, and the women went fucking nuts because I was talking about men telling a woman that he doesn't want kids, and she still sleeps with this nigga raw. We talked about that, I think, a little bit. But you still sleep with this guy raw, and then you get pregnant, and then you're like, oh, he should have had a condom. What, bitch? You let him fuck you raw. Like you were Stevie Wonder and you couldn't feel the difference between a raw dick and a dick with a condom on it. It has the little circle at the top. You just rub your fingers on it, you can feel the embraces on there. Just saying.
Have your own protection. Be on birth control. Do something.
I tell my daughters that. Keep a condom with you, just in case that boy doesn't have a condom. Because the one thing, keep magnums if you're dating in the black community. Gold pack, preferably.
With this Negro.
Just saying, I gotta keep my daughters straight because I know my daughters like getting down too.
Okay.
I mean, that's honest. Let's stop this. And that's another thing. Let's stop making girls like they're so damsels in distress. Fuck that. Let's tell our daughters, yo, put a fucking condom on his dick. If you're gonna have sex, I know you got a sexual desire just like that boy does. I know you're about as nasty as that little boy too.
Right.
What I'm not gonna do is I'm not gonna let you go out there and shoot off into a chamber.
Right.
And hurt your fucking feelings and hurt your life. No, I'm going to tell you do the right thing because we put all this onus on boys. And let's just be honest. Boys are not that fucking smart at a certain age. Okay, they're really not, and they will do the dumbest shit. Girls,
I mean, they can not be smart at our age. It just depends on the boys. So
I'm going to say something. It's not going to be PC friendly, but 2021, ladies, y'all letting the boys catch up.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Because these boys, I've talked to some young men that come to my tattoo shop. These boys like, ain't making no babies, Mr. Long. Fuck that.
Right.
These little niggas is
they
ready.
They are getting smart.
These little niggas is like, fuck that. Right. I see my homeboy. He is in high school, and this little chick had a baby. He on child support. He working at Walmart, and his whole life fucked up.
Right.
These young boys, I teach young guys, yo, don't worry about girls. Make your money right now. Okay, worry about your purpose. Worry about your career. You should worry about a career. That young woman, she should worry about attracting a husband.
Right.
This idea that we keep teaching girls to go for a fucking career, and then when you date a man, that's all you're doing is dating a man forever because you never learn how to be a wife, and he wants a wife. Think about it. We've all been taught how to date. Nobody's been taught how to be a husband or a wife. But men, it's ingrained in us to be a husband because we're supposed to be providers, protectors, and cheats. I'm not saying all men. So look, let's get that straight because we know there's some fucking bums out there.
Right.
When I moved here, I was like, damn, these niggas live in the projects with a bitch who won't help her get out.
And be comfortable with that.
Yeah, I'm like, I mean, I couldn't be comfortable doing that. Like, nah, baby, look, if you want to be fucking with me, we got to get you out of here.
Right.
This is the slave quarters. We can't have you in the slave quarters. We got to get it in the house. You know what I'm saying? So we can do better. But yeah, we have to start making this normal, these conversations normal, so that we can stop talking at each other and start talking to each other. I think until ladies, and I'm being honest with you, some of y'all say the weirdest shit ever. Just I'd be like, yo, common sense logic would say, you know, have these conversations.
Right.
I know it's men, it's men. No, it's the men you fucking choose. Fellas, if you're out there bitching about women, it's the fucking women you choose. I know half the fucking relationships I fucked with was the fact that I chose that woman.
Right.
And I can't get mad at the woman I chose. I chose that woman. So those are the consequences I have to deal with for not properly vetting said woman. So I can't complain.
Facts.
You know, that's why you'll never hear me complain about any of my exes. I fucked that up.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
I picked that.
Yeah. Oh, my bad. Fuck.
Oh
Shit,
man,
shake it
you done
again.
got me hot and stuff.
Look, I'm about to get. Hey, look, guys, we're gonna get out of here because it is hot than a slave on summer. It's Amistad hot. It's 12 years of slave hot. Okay, I'm over here sweating.
It's yes.
Like
It's real.
my jingle jangles are over here sweating.
Oh Lord. Not the jingle jangles. Not the jingle jangles.
Look, guys, thank you for coming out this week to Black Knights Podcast, where we try to have a conversation that's fun and involving and that is relaxing. We want to have a little drink too, so that we won't get so hyped up and forget about the premise of it. At the end of the day, we're going to leave some. I want to give you a chance to leave your lasting impression on the show and what you think of the topic today.
Topic of the day. Yes, I think we definitely throw the deadbeat dad out there way too much. I think we need to definitely work better together. Our men are stepping up and I'm really proud of them, but our women need to go ahead and just you need to step up with it too. You know, we need to work together. We need to build our village again.
Yes. So my last words is his. Look, ladies, I'm not trying to be an asshole to you. I understand that there are guys out there who do not take up for their kids, who do not do for their kids. We know that. However, you need to become a wife to some man other than that. I had a stepfather who was a man who took care of my mom and her 6 kids. Great guy. And ladies, what I'm saying, my mom was a wife. That's why he married her. She was humble. She was submissive. Yet she still handled her business. She still worked. She went and had a job and came home and took care of the kids and took care of the meals. Because my mother loved doing that job because she understood what kind of man she had that was with her. You can't say you're going to be a wife when you get in a relationship. That doesn't work that way. You have to be a wife before he meets you. Okay? Just like I have to be a provider before you meet me. I can't just come up and say, I'm going to be a provider later on. That's where that, what's that word you said just a minute ago earlier? What's that word you said, y'all?
Oh, Lord.
The P word that you used.
Why are you making
I said possibility.
Potential?
Potential.
Yes.
That right there. That shit right there, ladies, that gets you in fucking trouble.
That word is horrible.
Stop dating niggas that have potential and date niggas that show you that they're doing something with their lives.
Horrible.
Like their credit is good. They got their own crib. They got their own car. They either running a business or they working in the business and they head in their business. Find those leaders, those guys that other men follow. Those are the guys you want to start dating. Okay? Stop fucking just giving pum pum to anybody. It's no good.
And no good.
You know what I'm saying? You're going to be broke. And then you're going to be bitter and angry at everybody.
And on Facebook.
And still giving pum pum away, trying to find a lucky star, just like throwing dice.
No.
I'll give pum pum to him. Hopefully he be good. Oh, shit.
Lord have mercy.
All right, guys. With that being said, thank you guys for coming to Black Knights Podcast. We're going to get out of here. Hope you have a great weekend, guys. We'll see you next week, next Friday. Thanks so much.